feels like it.
Oh, baby. Here we are. Extraordinary Excellence Podcast Season 3. What's going on, Sean Luke?
What's going on, man?
Am I too loud? Am I yelling at the microphone?
No, I
It's
have
been
you
a
good.
while.
I have you good.
It's been a while.
I have you good. We're dialed in. I'm used to it now.
All right, cool.
It's easier to add volume than to take it away when you're in post-production, so I start you off a little bit lower.
Got it.
And then I'll add you later on.
Love it.
So we're good, but this is going to be good. This is episode 2 of season 3.
Episode 2, season 3. High and tight, quick, bite-sized, topic-driven, unbelievable expertise. Today, I have my friend Ryan Harb.
It's a hit workout for your brain, just so you know.
It's a what?
Hit workout. High
intensity training
for your brain.
High intensity training workout.
Just wanted, since it's only the second episode, how quickly I could derail.
Very fast. Very, very fast. But we have
superhero power.
That's it. Always. That's how Sean goes. But it doesn't take much to distract me from my train. But before I get too distracted, because this is your intro, Ryan Harb, I am so excited to have my buddy Ryan Harb here. I met him 2 years ago outside of an event that is the antithesis of everything that we talk about. A bunch of people not adding content, not serving people, not putting people ahead of profits, taking advantage of people's desire to have a better life, that we complain the heck out of it. We're both a little bit melancholy and complaining. We're like, these guys suck. This is stupid. But here we are now. And I found out that Ryan Harb through the years is someone that does put people ahead of profits. He has 19 years experience in the branding industry. He's been on LinkedIn for 13 years, which I don't know how long LinkedIn's been around, but it can't be much longer than that. That's got to be pretty early adopter. He's checking
early
that
days.
out. Top 1% of LinkedIn, and he's going to be talking about, he's run 20 training sessions the last few months. He knows exactly how to be able to build effective relationships using LinkedIn primarily as his medium. But I can't wait to hear from branding marketing specialist extraordinaire with the most amazing beard and the coolest tarot card tattoo on his forearm, Mr. Ryan Harb.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate the introduction. Yes, I got the Hermit here. And then I got death on the other side. So
I thought so.
Just as an FYI, before you get too deep in the rap game over there, Ryan, LinkedIn launched on May 5th, 2003. So you started just 3 or 4 years after the inception.
They call him Ryan Vaynerchuk.
I wish. I think part of that whole situation was understanding what was going on with LinkedIn, right? It was like this new alternative where it was, we were in like the end days of MySpace and beginning days of Facebook, really, at that point. Right. And then seeing what LinkedIn was, and it was kind of this amazing tool where people were like basically telling you they worked, what their job position was, and you could really utilize it to kind of sidestep everybody and get in front of the right person to kind of have a conversation with, instead of trying to, go through the gatekeeper and make your way all the way up the ladder. And, really what I used it for in the early days was just going to trade shows and then going directly to the people that I knew were going to be the reps for the trade shows and just booking meetings with them right through the Messenger, or figuring out what their email is and working that ninja game a little bit. So
totally.
That's cool.
And then it really paid off. So like I have been in many different elements in my career here. I'm an video game guy that's always been in the marketing world, but in the early days of a software development studio that I started with 2 other guys, we were a small 10-person studio in the middle of nowhere, New Jersey, and we're able to really get in front of some of the larger publishers in the video game world, like Nintendo and Sony and Activision and Warner Brothers, and just utilizing that direct contact through LinkedIn and just saying, hey man, we're going to be out in E3, just seeing if you guys have some time, 15 minutes just to talk. And we had some great conversations that turned into some amazing opportunities just because we were able to kind of get in front of the right person directly. So
that's cool.
Yeah. And that's ubiquitous for everyone. Everyone right now is looking. Everyone is either in business or professional, particularly people listening to this. And it's, how do I connect with the right person? It's not blanketing. This isn't the world of 3 stations and you just keep pushing these messages in front of everyone. It's, how do I honorably and in the right way, not salesy, not pushy, have the message and the thing that I have that can help in front of the right people. So if you could talk about some of the metrics and what makes LinkedIn unique and really dive in for how
Sure.
can someone really utilize that platform to build a network that can drive business for them.
Yeah, so I think there's a couple. It's a loaded question, so we'll go in a couple different sections. So I think the first thing to realize now is, especially in the state that we're in, is that internet traffic is up like over 300%, and it's not going to go down, right? People are in front of the machines more than ever, and this is a great time to really stand out. And part of the way that I think LinkedIn gets a bad rep is that, I think people forget that LinkedIn is social media. I mean, it's just geared towards the business community. So when you're out there and you're online, you want to kind of stay top of mind, right? So a couple things I always say is, first to mind, live in the feed, right? Content is king, engagement is queen. All right. And I think people tend to overthink their content. And before you even kind of get into the let's build a relationship, let's reach out to these people and see if I can get maybe an opportunity to do things, you've got to kind of stay on the radar. And I think part of that is understanding the importance of keeping your network on LinkedIn close and understanding that it's not always great to just connect with people that aren't going to be relevant in either the position that you're in or the area that you're trying to kind of well known in, right? So for me, I tend to keep my network on LinkedIn very, very tight, right? I have usually between 1,000 and 1,100 connections at all times. And out of those people, I know 93, 94% of those people, to the point where if I haven't talked to them in a long time, I can send a message to someone or I can call them up or shoot them an email and I'll get a response back because
Wow.
there's
Yeah.
a reason behind that, right? So as we're putting content out, I'm either doing a couple things, right? I'm either doing my own content, which I do. I'm either liking, commenting, or sharing on people's content, right? And kind of getting more involved in the conversation because in the LinkedIn game, when I like, comment on someone else's posts, that then appears in that person's feed. Okay. So if I like Anthony's post and I comment on it, it's going to say Ryan Harb liked and commented on Anthony's post. So now all of a sudden, I've now opened up the access points to your network through me liking your stuff, which then in turn will hopefully bring people to my page because we've talked about this beforehand. That's really what I want, right? I want people to come to my page. So when people come to my page, they're going to check me out. Right. And that's really where it all begins because now I've got people that are viewing my page, right? And these people can be first, second, or third connections, right? First connection is that we're directly connected. Second connection is we have people in common. Third connection is I don't know anybody. We have no one in common. And this really starts to open up doors because if I'm getting involved in the conversations that you're posting about and you're continuing to write content, I'm kind of utilizing your content as an opportunity to open up doors for me by constantly being engaged in those posts. So when people are liking my posts or my comments in your post, I'm hoping that's bringing traffic to my page. Now, on top of that, part of that is remember, great opportunity for a website is about 20 seconds. And that's killer. Like you're killing it. People are on the page for 20 seconds. I'm thinking as my LinkedIn page, my profile page, kind of as my own personal website. It's my resume on steroids. Okay. But you got to remember that first initial section where people have your profile picture, your banner, your tagline, which is not your current position. It's what you do to help people or what kind of client you're looking for. No one wants to know that you're the vice president at this bank, right? I can see that when I scroll down to your experience and where your current job is at. So what I'm trying to do is when people come to my page, that first initial section that I can fill out says areas that I can help you in, what I'm looking for. Maybe have my banner as my current company, or maybe my banner is like a little insight into my personality. I'm banking on people clicking on my page, looking for 3 seconds, maybe 10 at the most, and not even scrolling down. But when they leave, they kind of already know what I do, right? And that's part of it because you seeing those people that come in open up those opportunities because now we can kind of go into the game, right? Now since I'm relevant and fresh because I'm either creating content, engaging on other people's content, or liking and commenting and appearing in people's feeds, it's bringing people to my page at our first connection that is like, hey, what's going on? We haven't talked in a long time. Let's set up a time. And now I know that they just came to my page. I know that I'm relevant in their brain. So if I just automatically, yo, what's up? Let's grab coffee. Let's jump on a call. They're like, oh, I was just thinking about you. And I go, well, I know you were because you were on my page, right? The other side of that is second connections now open up opportunities for me to get introduced to people that we're connected with. And because my network on LinkedIn is so tight, it's usually an easy introduction or for that person to get in front of me. Now, a lot of people don't play that game. So a lot of people just kind of are friends with everybody. And maybe sometimes I'll ask 2 or 3 people that are in common. They say, hey, I don't have that. But you can drop the people's names that they're involved with and say, hey, I see we have a couple questions. I'm always looking to expand my network. It would be great to set up a call and discuss opportunities, how we can network together and help grow and learn more about each other. That's what I say to people. I'm never like, hey, did you know internet traffic is up and we here at ClearBridge Branding can help you grow your website? And come on, it's not 1988, right? We're not playing the game where it's like, oh, if you call at 7:30 in the morning, the gatekeeper's not there, so you can get the CEO on the phone. And like those days are long gone. Those, we strive, and it really pays off. Is that I want to have a relationship with people, right? I can come in and I could set up a bunch of sales and I can bang out a bunch of stuff and I can just dial for dollar. But as soon as that person gets a better deal, they're going to leave, right? I want people to be with me because what they're getting is they're getting the fact that I care about what I do. I like what I do. And not only are you going to be doing, a sale with me, but you're also getting access to my network. So now that you have access to my network, you're top of mind with me, which means now you're top of mind with all my squad because I don't have a sales team. It's just me, but I have a sales team of my network of 40 people that are always out there selling for me because I'm always top of mind. I know that's a
Yeah.
lot to come in, but it's really what it is. That's the name of the game. And that's why it's so important to have that tight network on LinkedIn because those people, when they hear buzzwords, they go, oh, thought part.
Yep. So to dig in to highlight, because I want to give some action points. You're
Action
listening to
point
this?
1.
Let's give some action points and
Action
actual
point
tangible things
1.
you can do. Action point 1 to 7.
Great.
First off, we want to create content around our expertise. That's one option. 2, we want to engage with other people's content. And then 3, we
Okay,
want to curate.
let's start with
Oh, yeah.
one, and because I want to talk
Go
about
back
those
to
real
one
quick
first.
individually. So create content, right? So I think that's the one thing that everybody hears that word and they just freak out because they're like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to put out there. I don't like to be in front of the camera, whatever it is. And I think part of that creating the content is also sharing content, right? So you can share the shit out of everybody else's stuff. I think that is a thing. And that is also kind of a creating your content, right? I mean, look at Barstool on Instagram, right? Barstool has content that they create, but the majority of their content is sharing other people's content, right?
Yeah.
Utilize other people's content as your own. That's huge. There's people out there that are spending hundreds and millions of dollars out there creating this professional content that might be relevant to your industry and maybe it's a niche audience that you're trying to get in front of. For me, it's esports and tech and all that, but other people could be healthcare. It could be whatever your niche is, right? Share that content from The Rock, from Gary Vee, from Oprah, from whoever it is, because they are creating tons of stuff. Now, I'd say the other part of that too is don't do a blind share, which is just share it out and go. I like to share it and then write a little something and then put it out. And I'm telling you, if you do that all the time, people see it. And you're almost like a source for the insight for those industries of what's relevant and what's going on in that world.
Yeah. So that was perfect because that was number 3. Curate content and share it. So that's the deal. That's the best way to go.
Biggest
so
part.
You're creating it, you're engaging with it, you're curating it. You're putting your
Yeah.
take, quick kind of blurb, your idea, your industry, your belief, your ethos over that. You talked about your network needs to be actually known. So the play on LinkedIn from your expertise is you're not looking to be LinkedIn open networking, lion. You're looking to be actually knowing the people that are in your network and creating an actual community. So speaking on creating an actual community, one of the main reason from a professional point of view, outside of our friendship and you being badass and a lot of fun, great to grab Uno's pizza with in South Jersey, is that you actually are truly looking to put people ahead of profits, relationship ahead of business, and you're looking to
100%.
serve and to give and to help. So can you talk about building a network involves building relationships, which is giving and helping and really connecting people. Can you talk about how you actually do that?
Sure. I think it starts with a couple things. I think it's, being involved in, if you're coming in low and you don't have a whole lot of like that, you don't have that network, the best thing to do is really to start and kind of build core 4, 5, or 6 people, right? That are people that you have kind of you see a lot all the time. Maybe you all go to networking events together and you've kind of developed these relationships that are turning into friendships, right? Like I call that like your core 6, right? So these are people that are kind of like, you know who their kids are, you know what's going on with their life. Maybe you're part of like a group text chain where everybody's just kind of like sharing stuff and laughing about things, right? And those people are a great way to start to kind of have the people keep you top of mind all the time. Right. And it's really nice to be able to refer the business back to them. And if you don't have that huge network and you start with these 6 people as you're having meetings and people are talking about, what's a good introduction for me, you go, hey, I want to introduce you to some really good other people that are good networkers, and just fall on those 5 or 6 people as your initial start to make introductions. It's like, oh, you need to know Bill, you need to know Steve, you need to know Mary. Here we go, coming in hot. And then every time I do it, they don't know that you don't have a huge network, but if you're going to say, hey, I think you should know Bill, know more people than you do, and it's that low and slow mentality that we talk about all the time, right? It's that patience over greed that I say all the time, right? And part of that is understanding that those relationships will grow. And I go into my meetings and I'm never really here to sell people, right? I sell marketing and I happen to have marketing. But really what I want to know is, what do you do? Who's a good person for me to get in front of you, and how can I help you grow your business? And if I can assist you in marketing, I can. But really, I love to give and I love to help people grow their network. And if I hear people that say, "Oh, I need to know," I do really good with like CPAs and people in the insurance world. I'm like, here we go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here we go, bang. Here you go, nail these people out. And my intros are never trying to uh, sell the person's business. It's like Ant meet Steve, Steve meet Ant. You guys should talk. It should be great. And I always there's some great opportunities for you guys to work and network together. See you, goodbye, go. And that's it. I'm never here like these people, and I'm not going to sell your business for you because I don't know it, and I might screw it up, and before you know it, I'm saying something else. So I think that's a big part of it, and it's always understanding how you can help. And if you have those core people, it's good. But eventually, as you continue to give, you're going to grow, and you're going to eventually have 30 people in 30 different industries that are all your top of mind people. So I've got my insurance guy, I've got my bank guy, I got my CPA, I've got a guy that does payroll, I got a guy that does bookkeeping, I got a guy that owns a brewery, I got a guy that has asphalt, right? It takes time to develop those relationships, to have those people. And I think it's weird to say, people give to expect it back. I honestly don't. It's just I want to help everybody grow, and then you never know when you plant those seeds, how long it takes for those seeds to grow. I mean, I've had it where I haven't talked to people in like 16 months, and then they call us and like, okay, we're ready to move forward. And I'm like, oh great, let's go. And it takes that time. It really does. And that's why those relationships are so important to develop. And that's why it's also so important to keep those relationships tight on LinkedIn, because when I'm putting that content out there, I want my content to be relevant to the people that I'm going to see, make introductions for, or continue to grow as possible clients in the future.
Amen.
Ryan's got a guy.
He's always got a guy.
He's got a guy.
I know
He's got a
someone.
guy.
That's the South Jersey thing, though.
Yeah.
That's it.
I got a guy.
Does Ryan's long red beard intimidate you, Sean?
I like it.
I mean, normally you don't have people competing with you.
I can't.
On the podcast.
I don't think I have enough commitment to get to that point. It's good. That's good. That's
Yeah, it's
solid.
cold out, so I'm just gonna let it go. See how long it goes. It'll get to the point where it's too much, and we'll see what happens.
I once saw this T-shirt.
Yeah, I mean,
it was like Barbarian, Gandalf, Merlin.
I
you
see
know,
that.
The longer the beard is.
That's a good shirt.
Yeah, I think I'm entering like lumberjack phase at this point.
Yeah. So
I would like early lumberjack.
Who's your best connection, Ryan? Fur and redwood. That's my best connection. All right. So number one, make your profile compelling and accurate. We are looking to have a profile that has the proper language of who you are, who you serve. So this way, and don't I don't know if you've read Story Brand by Donald Miller. I feel like that architecture and that idea, I'd check it out. We're utilizing that organization wide as a really good tool to really try to hone in who are we talking to, what are we trying to say, and making sure that we're serving people as guides rather than kind of just telling our own story. But
that's a good one for good one for anybody.
Let me comment on that real fast on the profile stuff, right? So I think that we have to realize that we live in a generation that doesn't read, right? The headline generation where people will read headlines and said they read the whole article. You have to remember that the attention span for people is quick and fast, and they want to be out, right? So when you're doing your profile, you have to remember that. So like for my about section, I keep it to about 5 or 6 words or less. Any more information that I want to integrate into that, I put into my experience. My experience sections, 2 to 3 sentences at most. If there's more information I need to put in my experience section, bullet points, 10 words or less, all the way down. So when people are coming through, bing, 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 bang, boom, goodbye, see you later. And I can give them tons of information. If I'm going to write this thing, or if I'm like, if you click on my about section and it's literally like a half a page, or I mean a full page rather, I'm sorry, the majority of people are not going to read that. They just don't care. They don't have the time to do it.
Yeah, I need to.
I'm going to change mine. I just deleted my whole
quick and dirty
comment. No, I'm just kidding.
No one's ever accused me of brevity. Ever.
Yeah,
I can literally get on a video call, Ryan. I can get on a video call. Forget writing. I get on a video call and say I have nothing to say, and then begin and to proceed to talk for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
So
anytime
the same boat, my friend.
there, he goes, I don't really have anything to say to you guys. You guys heard it all.
2 hours.
2 hours later.
Okay. Make your profile compelling, short, succinct. Number 2, connect and add value. Give. Make sure you have a closed network of the right people, but we need to know who the right people are that we want to talk to.
Yes. Extremely important. So I think part of that is understanding you got to go from like the small. So like start in your town, go to your county, go to your region. And that's really how it goes. And I always say it all the time, like now with all the organizations that are kind of adapting and doing all this video content, I always say if you're starting in that section where you don't know what to do or you don't know how to start, reach out to everybody that runs the organization. Start with those people. They're the best people to start with. And if you're a member of like chambers or associations or any kind of those, even BNIs and the tips and all that, like utilize the head leadership in that to really get started. And then you have to understand that when people are going to ask you who you want to get introduced to, or that could turn into either clients or things to that extent, you have to just be the broken record. 3 or 4 different industries all time. Since March, I've literally said the same 4 things. Food packaging and processing, anybody in specialized healthcare, anybody in esports, anybody that's in senior living. That's all I've said for the entire time. And I've gotten great lead from that. Because when I tell people, and we've talked about this before, I'm agnostic. We here at my brand, we can work with anyone and everyone. I'm like, dude, that's great. And everybody can. But now you're not giving me the opportunity to keep you top of mind. Because everybody and everybody's nothing. But if you say esports, do you think anybody else is going to think about esports other than me? And that's part of it, is standing out on those introductions. So
probably not. Let's go. 3, create, engage, curate content. Share, engage. Any tips on that before we move past it?
Yeah, I would just say if you are struggling with content, just get involved in the conversation. It's the biggest thing. Just run through your mornings, go through your list, and just go, great job. This is awesome. A big thing I do is whenever people are hiring, I just share it out and I just do all capital letters, opportunity alert. And I throw it out to my network because you never know who in my stuff might be a good candidate for you. But also run through and just be part of that engagement conversation. I mean, when you're part of it, people are going to see it. And then remember, it's not a bad thing to comment on the comment of a comment. Right now, when you do that, you gotta remember everybody in that post is going to get a notification that you posted on that post. So now people, again, we want to take people and bring them to our profile and turn opportunities that go from ice cold to lukewarm. It's the name of the game.
So you take an ice cold opportunity, make it lukewarm by them seeing who you are, seeing that you're connected to someone that they know, seeing what you do. I'm not sending them
because they're already educating themselves about who I am.
So then you can reach out and say, hey, love to grab a cup of coffee. Love to see how I can add value to you. And that's basically the play.
You start off with ice.
And then
I thought you were going on a total joke pattern, so I was ready to jump
That's
in.
hysterical.
And then you went serious. I'm like, oh.
Well, that's funny because I was like, I didn't know whether I wanted to go joke direction or serious. But I'm like, let me finish the serious before we start the joke. So that's why you saw it on my face. It was totally accurate.
I'm like,
Read my mind. Read my mind. Okay. Last serious thing before something really fun. I don't know how fun it's going to be, but I hope it's really fun. Last serious thing. Tips, tricks, hacks, productivity, effective ways to do this. You have 14 years experience. I sit down, I get a basic profile done. I have basic stuff figured out. I've started to build a basic network. I'm doing that. I sit down, I have a half an hour a day to invest into connecting on LinkedIn. Tips, tricks, hacks, exactly what do you do?
Great. So I would say one of the biggest ones I think people kind of underutilize is the fact that over the last year and change or so, LinkedIn has done an excellent, excellent job integrating hashtags into the platform. Okay, the hashtag game is very strong on LinkedIn. So what I'd like to do is again pick these industries or these buzzwords that are integrated into who you want to get in front of. Okay, and remember you can follow people and you can follow hashtags. So you don't always have to connect with someone. You can follow them, right? So when you follow them, I now get all of everything that they post in my activity. So it's like I'm connected, but we're not actually connected together, right? So part of that is let's say that I'm following hashtag cupcakes on LinkedIn, right? So I go through, I follow that. Right. So I run through hashtag cupcakes and I see everybody that's posted utilizing that hashtag. I find someone in that group that is the CEO of Cupcakes Anonymous. And I'm like, oh, this is great. So I click on their profile. So now I'm on their profile. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm not going to connect with them because it's a third connection. I don't know them. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to follow them. So now all the content that they're putting out, anything that they're liking or sharing is going to appear in my feed. So now within a matter of a minute, I've given them two notifications. One, that I viewed the profile. Okay. Two, that I started to follow them. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll down into their activity. I'm going to go into their activity and see everything that they've posted, like, comment, and shared. Now I'm going to keep that to about a 2-week barrier because I don't want to go anything deeper because it's already gone. It's dead and gone. So I want to go through and I want to like, comment, and share on all the stuff that they've done. That's maybe 2 or 3 posts. Okay. What I like to do, which freaks people out, is share people's stuff that's third connections that I'm not even with. So like if they're going to be like, oh, I'm going to be on this podcast or I'm going to be on this round table in a week, come check us out. I'm going to share that and go, this looks like a great opportunity. Don't miss out. And boom, I share that out. And then I like, comment on a bunch of stuff. So in a matter of 3 minutes, I've viewed their profile. I've followed them. I've shared content. And I also liked and comment on a bunch of stuff. And then I leave. Goodbye. See you later. Now I've got 3 or 4 other people I'm going to do that with. Because what am I trying to do? I want them to go, who in the F is this guy? All of a sudden, coming out of nowhere, liking my stuff. What are they going to do? They're going to go right to my profile. So now we've gone from ice cold to lukewarm. And now I'm not going to like connect with them right away because I still don't know them. But after time goes by, I kind of see their stuff coming up in my feed, liking them, commenting. And then what I'm doing is if you get somebody that's pretty big, right? Maybe you got somebody that's kind of not huge, but they get 120 likes on a post. And it's in an industry that I want to be part of. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go on that post. I'm going to look at everyone that is liked that post, and I'm going to go through all their profiles and do the same thing.
Yeah.
And eventually what happens is you get relevant into things. And that's all it is. Low and slow. That's it. I would say that's the best strategy to go on is work it because you can find out the people. Now remember, you can also do the same thing for companies. So if I want to get in front of Campbell Soup, right? So if I want to get in front of Campbell Soup, I go on a Campbell Soup's LinkedIn page. On the right-hand side, it'll say people that work here. I click on that and it's like 9,500 people. And I'm like, there's no way I'm going through 70 pages of 9,500 people. So this is where I can really utilize the filters options, right? I go to filters, I run down, I click Campbell Soup, current position, and who you want to talk in front of. I want to get in front of HR. Boom. Hit refresh, bang, 16 people. And now I can run through all their profiles and find out who makes sense.
Okay.
And then, oh, this person's actually a second connection. Oh, that's great. Oh, they know Tim. Tim's my man.
Perfect.
Tim, do you know Steve at Campbell's? Yeah, Steve's great. He babysit my kids, whatever, right? Here we go, boom, and now we're in together. And then I'm coming in hot with Tim, and with the guy from Campbell, and the first thing we're going to talk about, the person that introduced us. Hey, I love it. Ant's so great. Yeah, he's the best. Blah 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 blah. Oh, by the way, I know that the person I'm getting introduced to, that person knows that I'm not going to come in and hard sell them at all.
Yeah.
So we get to know them. And the first thing I do is this person's like, oh, here we go. A marketing guy wants to talk to me. Let's see what's going on. I go, hey, man, what's going on? Nice to know you. Where you're from? What's going on? I look at their background, right? Always be looking at the backgrounds with the Zoom calls. People set their backgrounds on purpose. So I'm calling stuff out. I'm like, oh, I see you got an old camera back there. You a big photography guy? Oh, man, I love photography. Went to school for it, but, wound up doing accounting instead. And then before we know it, it's 20 minutes into the conversation, and he's like, oh, well, we should talk about like work. I'm like, oh, yeah, sure. Okay, great. Who do you want to know? Okay, good. Here, that's all I gotta know. All right. And then sometimes I don't even tell them what I need. Hey, I'm gonna make some intros for you. Hey, man, great meeting you. See you. Goodbye. Gone. That's it. And it's like, wait, this guy didn't sell anything to me, and he's gonna hook me up with people, and then he's gonna maybe go down one day in 3 or 4 months and someone's go blah 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 marketing. I go, oh, that marketing guy that gave me all. Maybe we give him a chance.
Yeah.
That's it.
And the thing is, you do it because you're looking to help people. You're looking to serve. And ultimately, that's just the right thing to do. It's not a,
yeah,
hey,
man,
let me talk about it. It's just different. It's, hey, you want to know about the photography. We're not doing it because it's important that people understand.
Exactly.
Don't connect.
I don't have a script. Yeah, I don't have a script in front of me that's like, phase 1, look at background of person's thing. Phase 2, ask about opportunity to do website. It's like,
right.
I don't care. It's not the way I work. I happen to sell marketing. I mean, I love what I do. I work for a great company. We've got great culture, but I'm not going to hard sell people. It's just not the world that we live, especially now. Like everybody just wants to build relationships. I've literally done every week. I've probably done a month of 3 to 4 weeks of networking every week since like April. It's insane.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I've met how many people that I've developed great relationships with that I have never met in real life. It's wacky.
It's crazy.
Super wacky.
Yeah, it is. All right. Anything you got before
that was like info overload. So
this is great.
No, the one question I had was the profile. Then I was like, I'll wait for it afterwards, and then you came to it, and then Ryan shit on our profiles.
Yeah.
So that worked out well.
Yeah, covered. Covered. I hope you have some disinfectant to get the shit off our profiles.
Yeah,
well, I think what's good for you guys too is that you want to drive traffic to your profile so that people check out what your current position is, and then click on the company page, and then go right to the site, and then the site's full of tons of content, right? You want to be this is our teaser. This is our teaser. Come check out all the info that we've got going on. So
we should
go over to do.
EOE podcast.
You got some work to do. So to end, craziest quick story you have. What's the craziest story that you have, regardless of rating, that you can share?
Craziest story, like in general?
Yeah.
In general.
I think it was pretty cool. Is that we were at E3, which is kind of the biggest video game convention. This is a long time ago, 2008-ish, 7-ish, and we had a meeting with Nintendo, and we were looking at opportunities to do. So we have 2 published games on Nintendo DS. So we were looking. We were an official licensed developer with Nintendo, and we were looking at some opportunities to take some lower known IP Nintendo hasn't really utilized since like the late 80s and early 90s, and we're like, hey, give it to us, we're super cheap. I know it's 10 grand a month, we're like 600, let's go, let's make it happen. And during that meeting with some of the higher ups in Nintendo, Reggie, who was like the president of Nintendo of America, like popped in our meeting and was like, hey, just so you know, we got that thing going. And we're like, hi Reggie, how are you? Like you run Nintendo of America. This is ridiculous.
Awesome.
Why are we in this meeting? This is amazing. So that was a pretty awesome story. And again, that was all because of utilizing LinkedIn and getting in front of the right people. And before you know it, you got the president of Nintendo America popping in a meeting just to kind of remind people that lunch is like served.
I love it, man. I love it, man. Well,
awesome.
We're so thankful you're here. I keep pushing Ryan to create a LinkedIn course or something. He could market some of his knowledge. If he ever does that,
Yeah,
we'll make sure that we advertise it.
Yeah, there's some stuff in the background. We'll talk about
Good.
that, right?
Good. I
Remember,
look forward
patience
to
over
listening about
greed.
it.
Patience over greed. That is the name of the game.
That's it. That's it. Well,
Love
if you
it.
need to learn anything, you can connect. Where's Harb? He's mostly home now because of COVID, but not for long. But definitely connect with him. Find
That
him.
was good. That was
Find
good.
him on LinkedIn. Find him on Instagram. We'll talk more in the future. I'm sure we'll have you back on since we're doing some of these quick ones with some specific expertise. But this has been Extraordinary Excellence, where we have no idea what the tagline is. And I think we need to change the name.
It's been a few months.
Yeah,
You need to change the name of the podcast?
I think so. No, we'll just like alter it. I'm just kidding. I wasn't
He wasn't kidding. He wasn't kidding. He wasn't kidding, Ryan. All right.
That was a
We
test
love you
float. That was
guys.
a test float.
That
It
is,
sunk.
Well, hey,
that is,
I appreciate it. This is awesome. You guys rock and keep kicking ass. All right, man. You guys got doing some great stuff. So
Thanks.
Right
appreciate
on,
the
man.
opportunity.
Later,
Thanks.
dude.
All right, boys.